welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you my take on the reindeer burlap wreath that's been floating around Pinterest, Facebook, all over the place, using Dollar Tree items and burlap from Walmart. I do apologize for the length of the video, but there's a lot of steps to this little guy, so stay tuned and we will make one. Alright, let us get started. So first off, I have a candy cane form from the Dollar Tree. I have 2 rolls, well almost 2 full rolls of this light brown burlap. This came from Walmart. It is 5 inch by 30 feet, and at this exact moment, I don't know if I'm going to use all of this. I might not. I usually get my burlap and stuff from Hobby Lobby. This came from Walmart. So we'll see. I will make sure and tell y'all how much I use. I have a bunch of these different little Christmas sprig things from Dollar Tree. I don't know at this exact moment which one I want to use. I'll decide that here in a little bit. I have a roll of gold wired ribbon. I have a pack of these red jingle bells from the Dollar Tree and some of these small balls, which reminds me of my ex. These small balls from Dollar Tree. I have some scissors, I have a glue gun, I have some floral wire, and I have some wire cutters. So first off, what we're going to do is we're just going to cut a length of floral wire. I don't know, that's about 1 foot long. A lot longer than what I need for this. But that's okay. Let me get this stuff out of the way. Now what I'm going to do on this form here is the ruffle method. I call it the ruffle method. You know, there's so many different methods out there. I call this the ruffle method. And I'm going to start with the hook side over here to my left because I am left-handed. Mostly. I use both. I don't know. And I found that the easiest way to do this is to use 2 rolls of burlap at one time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll some off of this one, and I'm going to roll some off of this one. And now I'm going to place it under the form. And first, I'm going to fold it like this, and I'm bringing it under the form, and this line right here is what we're going to start with. See, I brought it up just like that, how this is sandwiched in between this burlap. Now, at the same time, I'm going to do that again with this piece. Only we're going to go around this bar this time. So I fold it in half like this, bring it under the form, and then sandwich that wire there in between the 2 sides. So now it looks like this. And the reason I'm going to use this wire is I'm just going to fold it in half and then just feed it through the burlap and then wrap it around the frame. And all that's going to do is it's just going to anchor our burlap so that it doesn't come off. I'm going to get it tangled up. That's what I'm going to do. Now let's twist it. Twist and twist. Let's do the twist. Okay. Now we're going to start filling up our form with the burlap. And to do that, I'm just going to grab each piece like this, each side, hold it together, and then just pull the burlap up through, and then scrunch it together just like that. Bring up more of the burlap. And y'all seen me do this in another video. Bring up both sides of the burlap till they're even. And then just scrunch it down. Bring up both sides of the burlap on that piece. And then we're going to bring it up on this piece wherever it went. There we go. Bring it up like that. And then just scrunch it down. And you do not have to be precise with this because it's all going to be ruffled together. You don't have to try to be perfect with this. You're not going to mess it up. A lot of people say they don't want to try burlap because they're afraid they're going to mess it up. No, you're not. You're not going to mess this up. It's just burlap. If you don't like the way it's looking, you just take it apart and do it over again. So don't worry about messing up. You're not going to. Okay, now the hard part is over. Once you get all this burlap on, the rest of it is just decoration. And with the full roll that I have this much left over. And on that partial roll that I had this much left over. So I would say probably, depending on how tight you squish the things, 1 roll of this is going to be all that you need. Okay? Now to end that off, Once I got done with the end part here, I just took another piece of that floral wire and I ran it through the burlap and I twisted it a few good times. And now I'm just going to take this end of it and just going to go around the actual frame and then give it a couple twists. And I'll go back here in a little bit and I will cut the ends of that wire a little bit shorter. So now we have our basic reindeer shape here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's put his nose on. I'm going to take one of these. Oh Lord, I'm spilling them. Jingle bell! I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another piece of this wire and use it to attach the jingle bell instead of hot gluing it. I think that would work best. So let's take a piece of wire and I'm going to bend it in half like that. Run it through the bell. Oh, come on. Jingle, jingle. Like that. Now I'm going to take this wire and I'm going to run it down through the burlap. Kind of toward on the end here. Don't know how well I'll be able to see it. Hold on. Oh, there it is. I think I've got it close enough to the end here. Can y'all see this? Can y'all see? Alright, let me see. I'm trying to get this wire through there. Oh, for heaven's sake. Oh, there it goes. Alrighty. It's being stubborn. Now I'm just going to pull that up and just give it a good twist here on the back and attach my nose. That's okay. I think that looks okay. Now I'm going to take a piece of this gold wire. Where are my scissors? I'm going to take a piece of this gold wire here. Gold ribbon. Lord of mercy. And let's see if that will look okay for the bridle part. I really wanted to use gold on this because I have so much of this gold ribbon. And I'm looking, and this ribbon is kind of sheer. And I actually don't think it's going to look all that great. But I do have some red ribbon up here. So let me pause this video right quick and let me grab that other ribbon and I'll come right back. Okay, so I switched it out for this red and green plaid ribbon. And actually, I think I'm going to like this better. Yeah, I think I'm going to like that better. The coloring will probably look better with the greenery as well. So all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to wrap it around what looks to be like his muzzle here. And I'm going to bring it around to the back and I'm just going to stick that down with a spot of hot glue. I've got green fuzzies all over my hot glue gun. If y'all saw my Grinch video that I made, if you didn't, I'm going to link to it right up there. I've got green fuzzies all over the place in here. So let's see. I don't want to wrap this too tight. I don't want to suffocate the poor little thing. And I might lower his nose too, now that I'm looking at it. I might lower that a bit. So let's just stick this ribbon down. Now once that glue sticks for a second, I'll trim that. Ah, I didn't stick enough. Alright. Hang on. We're getting there. And I'm going to use one of these little decorations here for his eye. I have some silver ones too, but I think the red will look the best. I want a lot of red on here. And for his antlers, instead of the greenery, I was thinking about using some greenery, but I don't know. I have these berries. Now, Dollar Tree has so many of these little decorative things, I'll call them. Not just flowers, but like long picks like this. They have berries, and then they have like some little wooden sprig, swirly things that are covered in glitter. You know, that would look okay on here too. So anything like that, I think would look good. Okay, that is in place. I think that looks all right. Now let's get one of these. Oh, Lordy. So the poor thing can see, and I think I'm going to stick that right there because there's a little indentation there. And I think this is very light. So I'm just going to put a big old blob of hot glue in there. I'm just going to stick it right down in there. These bells are a little bit heavier, and I didn't want to glue those on. How awful would that be for the little thing to be hanging on your door and then his nose falls off? We'll blame that on Jack Frost nipping at his nose. So right here, I'm going to put some of this greenery, but first I want to make a bow. And I'm going to set him off here to the side, and I'm going to show you the easiest way that I know how to make a bow out of wired ribbon. So wherever my floral wire went, I've got so much stuff on this table, it is absolutely ridiculous. Right here. Let's just cut a piece of wire, I don't know, good 18 inches long. And then I'm going to fold that in half. Okay. Now it does not matter how big of a spool of ribbon you have. I'm going to use this. You just saw me cut just a little bit off of it. And I also have this other ribbon here. That is just a solid red, kind of a canvas looking thing. I had gotten these at Walmart on clearance after Christmas last year in like a multi-pack, and I believe there's like 5 yards on each spool. But what I want to do is I'm going to take my wide ribbon and then place the smaller ribbon on top of it. And then whatever object you're going to put the bow on, go ahead and have it land down here. And then take your ribbon and measure about how wide you think you want your bow to be. And for me, this looks okay right here. So I want my bow to be that wide. Make a bend in your ribbon right there, because that's how wide we want it. Now all you're going to do is just take your ribbon and just fold it over on itself. Just like that. Just fold it. And we're essentially just making a big loop. Fold it. And then fold it down again. You're just looping it like that. And then fold it. And I usually do that right around 6 times. Fold it again. I actually have a video in my Christmas playlist on how to make wired ribbon bows. Just keep folding it. You're just making a big loop. It's easier with one ribbon. With 2 ribbons, it's a little tricky, but it is what it is. And I'm going to fold it one more time. I think that'll be just plenty for this bow. Now just cut your end here. See, we just have a big loop. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take that loop and let's find the center. You can fold it in half and mark the center if you want to. Right there. I'll take my scissors and I'm going to cut just a little bit into the ribbon, not all the way through. Absolutely not all the way through. You still want a little bit of the ribbon intact in the center. Okay? That is going to be the special little thing there that helps us to make the bow. Now you're going to take your piece of wire, wrap it around the center, and then just twist it a couple times like this. Now you're going to take your little loops and just just start separating them. Start separating your loops and fluffing them out. Now this could take a while. Sometimes it takes me a good 5 minutes to get these bows fluffed out the way that I want them. And the ends where you cut, that's the tails of your bow. So I'll show you what I mean once I get this fluffed out a little bit more. And then those cuts that you made in the center will let you twist them and turn them however you need to make the bow nice and fluffy and full. So just pull your loops out and just keep twisting them. But like I said, if you want a whole video showing you how to make bows, please look in my Christmas playlist because it's in there. Now I'm just going to fluff this out, take a few minutes and fluff it out and make my bow. And when I'm done doing that, I'll come back and we'll put it on our little reindeer. Okay, so after playing with this for a moment, I've decided that I don't want this to be a puffy bow. I want it to be a flat bow because I want to put this in the center. So I have all of my little thingies flattened and spread out. And now I have this wire here. And I'm going to use that to attach it to our reindeer. And I know this is so hard to see. I think I want it right there. So now I'm just going to take the wire and run it down once again in between the burlap. Let's see. Let's do that there. And I know this is so hard for y'all to see. I'm sorry. Just going to run that down there. Yes, I could glue it on, but you know what? I don't want to. Now, let's flip him over and find our wire. Right there it is. Just bring that up and bring that up, and then give it a good twist, and that will hold that on. This wire is pretty sturdy. And I killed my bow. Would you look at that? Let's just spread it out. Where'd the end go? There we go. Now I'm going to put a big old blob of hot glue right there so that I can attach this. Oh, I got it on my ribbon. Oh, Jesus. I was trying to grab a glue stick. But anyway, we're not going to see it because it's covered up with this. There we go. And now we'll let that sit there and harden up. Let's see which one I want to use. I think I'll use these red berries. So now with these red berries, I'm just going to, I don't know if I want the leaves on there or not. I'm just going to trim that here. Let's just cut a few of these off. And I want to stagger them so they're not like all together like this. I want to try to stagger them like that, you know, to make them look longer. Or try to wrap that around to make it actually look like antlers. I don't know. I'm just playing around with this just to see what it looks like. Okay. There we go. So with this, let me get him down here so that y'all can see. So with this, I'm just going to, just to see what it looks like, I'm just going to stick it down in the burlap, and then later on we'll secure that with some hot glue, so don't worry. Just going to stick it down in there like that. I think that looks okay. We're going to make him some ears here in a bit, don't worry. And stick that there, and stick that there. See, I have another bunch as well that I can cut and make even longer. With stuff like this, you know, you just have to play around with it. And then once I put these on, I'm going to set it down, and I'm going to let all of this glue, you know, really harden up. And then we'll work on his ears. Let's see, where did the longer one go? Let's put the short one there. And I want enough of this stuck down in the burlap, you know, because that's going to help to secure it as well. And then the glue is kind of like just a little extra to help it stay in there. I don't really like to glue down a whole lot of stuff until I'm positive that that's where I want it. And I think that's going to look okay. Just like that. And I will glue that down. Yeah, that looks okay. So then I will glue it down. Oops, I knocked this off. And we're going to make the ears. So I'm going to set this off to the side once again. I don't really want to glue that down until, you know, I get the ears on. And all that I'm going to do for the ears is I have burlap. I'm just going to take another piece of burlap. And I'm just going to cut it. I'm just going to fold it like this. And then just cut an ear shape. Like that. I think that looks okay. Just like this. Now let's put something on the inside of that ear just to give it a little bit of color. And I think I'll use just a scrap of this ribbon. So first I'm going to cut the wire edge off. Like this. And I'll just trim the ribbon down to kind of make another little ear shape. And we'll glue that right down there onto that burlap. Now be careful when you're doing that because it will leak through the burlap and get on your table. Ask me how I know that. I was gluing burlap one time and it stuck to my table. And I'm like, why is it doing this? And yeah, didn't really think about the glue seeping through it. And that's going to make our little ear. Actually, I'm going to trim some of this off because I think I cut that edge too big. Just eyeball it. It's okay. Don't worry. Like that. So now I'm going to take, do I want to take a piece of wire? Maybe not. I think I'm just going to hot glue that down in there. So let's bring him back. I want to get this on, like I said, before I really glue his antlers down so that I can see exactly where it is. I'm just going to put hot glue here and here. And I'm just going to stick it down in there. Because it's so close to the surface, I think the floral wire would show up. That's why I'm not going to use it. We'll just let that sit there for a few minutes, and then we'll fan it out to make it look like his little ear. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this ear sit here, the ear sit here. I'm going to glue the berries down, and then that will be it. I will do that, and then I'll come back, and I'll try to show you the finished item. I know it's hard to see on the camera like this, but I'll do it, and we'll see what he looks like. Alrighty, here he is. He is finished. There's his little antlers. Now I'm going to flip this over so that y'all can see the back. And as you can see, all I did was I just stuck them down into the burlap just so that I could, you know, get them in place to see where I wanted them. And then I used a bunch of hot glue and stuck them down. Don't worry about what it looks like on the back. Nobody is going to see this. If they're turning your wreaths around, hanging on your door, you need to slap them and send them on their way. Or if you want to, you can just cut a big piece of felt in the shape of a candy cane and glue it to the back so that it won't show. But he is done. That's what he looks like. So I hope that you enjoyed this one. This one was really fun to make, so I enjoyed it as well. If you would, please give this video a thumbs up. Click subscribe. Check me out on other forms of social media, the links to all of which will be in the description box down below. And I hope to see y'all next time. Bye-bye.